Okay, so I'm walking through the Quest 3, The Chosen One. So we'll pick up here with part 2 of the playthrough. So since it's the hero's turn, I'm going to go ahead and use Zap. I also need to move 1 because the Zap can be used at range 0 and 2, so I can use that now. Then I will do move 1 over here and attack them, and then I'll use my other action to move in here so I can hide and heal. Alright, so let's try the Zap and hope for 2 swords this time. 1, but that's good. The good thing is that Orc Enforcers only, actually they have 4 health. I was mistaken. They have 4 health. So that's only 1 point of damage, so I'll put that on the card. So we've got a lot more damage to do. So I'm going to move this hero, move him 1. Which way does he face? Yeah, he faces that way. So I will move 1 and let him attack now. I could have stayed in melee range, but we can't attack the same hero twice. So that's why I want to exchange for the other magic weapon, exchange back. And now I've got 2 yellow and 2 red to attack against their 1 green defense. Okay, so let's hope for a good roll here. All right, they are on defense. They do a 2 points automatic damage. And guess what, folks? That's the end. I forgot all about that. And so there you go. We have lost there. So there we go. Our hero is dead. We haven't even gotten the first artifact and we've lost the game here. Well, that just shows that you have to be kind of thinking because the game can switch pretty quickly. So what I will decide to do, just so that everybody can see the game a little bit further, progress a little bit further, I will admit that I lost that game and now pick it up as if I had made a wiser decision. And let's see what would have happened there. Instead of trying to attack the orcs, I realize that I am low on health, and so I will just run immediately to the healing place. So I will still allow the 1 damage here because I used a Zap to do that, and a Zap doesn't really have a counterattack. So he will have done his Zap, and then instead of attacking, he will just move in here and just try to play it safe. Now the other advantage of that is that I took the Zap doesn't count as an action. So I just moved in here with 1 action, 2 points, and then I have another action so I can roll a red die in this turn. So let's see if we were able to heal any. Okay, we rolled the red die. Oh, good. We rolled a diamond, so we go to full health. So with 1 roll of the die, it makes a radical difference in the outcome of the game. Now, if you want to vary it so that the diamond or the BAM give lesser amounts of healing, you can do that. But the reason that I did it this way is so that I didn't spend a bunch of time just trying to gain some health back. Okay, so we'll put him all the way back up to full health of 10. And if you haven't watched the video that talks about the instructions of the rules differences here, notice that he is able to escape a zone that he's in. There is no limitation about you having to stay in the same zone as an attacker. And I think that's mitigated by the fact that the enemy always can move the same as the hero does, and that they always get their second attack. Or rather, they're kind of a counterattack even if you've killed them. Okay, so that concludes the hero phase. Now let's move to the enemy phase. We will use the Abysmal Demon first, and he will move 2 because, again, he can't see us. He'll turn around and now start heading toward the exit if he doesn't see us. The Orc Enforcers will go next. They will target, again, using Massive Darkness rules, they're targeting the start. So they'll try to attack. They can't see me. They can't attack. So they move 2. They will actually move past me because they don't actually check at every zone. They only check when they start. And then, so they've moved 2. They'll try to attack again, but they can't. They can't see me, so they stop their movement there, and that's where they will end their turn. There are no event cards to draw, so now it's again the hero's turn. I can come out and try to attack them if I want, or I can just run in here and get the artifact. So that's up to how you like to play the game. I'm going to go ahead and try to accomplish the goal of the scenario and just move in here to get the artifacts. So I'm going to move 1, 2 for my first action, and then the second one I'll move in and I gain the first artifact, and so we'll just put that to the side. And now we go straight to the enemy phase. The Abysmal Demon will move 2, again because I'm in a shadow zone, and then the Orc Enforcers will move 2 toward the start. The Abysmal Demon is moving toward the exit. Now it's the hero's turn, and so that allows quite a bit of movement, and it happens very quickly. So I'm going to move over here and pick up this treasure. So I'll move 1 and pick it up. I'm hoping it's one of those special weapons, and it is. It's a special treasure. So here we get to level up one of our weapons. Okay, so for leveling up, we can either, since I only have 1 special treasure, level up one hand of my weapons, or I can level up the armor. I could save that treasure till I get 2 and level up to get a 2-handed weapon, but I've typically found that 2 single-handed weapons is better, especially with the simplified rules. Now, since the bands and diamonds actually are unblockable, that's where I've taken some of the damage. I could level up my armor, but I think I'm going to go ahead and level up one of these weapons to try to do more damage to the enemy. I've already made 1 bad decision, so that might be a bad decision as well, but that's what we're going to do. So to level up the treasures, what we'll do is I've decided on the kind of treasure or weapon that I'm looking for in the dungeon. And so I'm looking for a one-handed magic weapon. So I just take the treasure deck, and we will level up with the special treasure. You level up 2 levels. So we're playing at level 3, so we will level up to 5. And I flip it over till I find a single-handed magic. Oh, and there we go. The very first one is a single-handed magic weapon, and that's what I will replace my current weapon with. So that gives me 2 yellow and 1 red. That's better than 1 yellow and a red. Not huge amount, so maybe I should have done the armor, but it's done. Now I could keep this over here in my backpack, but there's really no reason to keep it because I would always choose this one as opposed to the other one. Okay, so the question is, what should I do for my second action? I'm going to go ahead and put the treasure up since I've already gotten that one. So I could try to come over here. Obviously, I need to get the artifacts. I know that the Abysmal Demon is coming this way. He will take this path. It's the shorter path. The Orc Enforcers are going to move away. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here 1, 2. I can't actually pick this up yet, but I'll move into that place, and I will stay in the shadow zone so that I can't be targeted. And, that's about the most I could do. Now it's the enemy phase, and so basically the enemies will swap places. The Abysmal Demon will move 2, the Orc Enforcers will move 2, they're just going in the opposite directions. Okay, so now what am I going to do on my turn? Could do any number of things. I could just come in here and wait for the monster to go past, but it's going to take him a couple of turns. Because I'm going to try to stay in the shadow zones. I could come down here, 1, 2, and then attack him, but that wouldn't be very good because I'm in line of sight, so he would come after me. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to come up here and get some of these treasures that are lying in the hall right now. So here we go. I will go 1, 2 for my first action, and then 1, 2, and pick this up. You can't quite see, sorry about that, since I'm over here. Ooh. Sorry, the position of the camera wasn't in a great angle, so I've come over here. I'm going to pick up this treasure and hope it is not a trap. Ah, good. It is a special weapon, so we can upgrade something. And I think I'll upgrade the armor this time. Great, so I've upgraded to plate armor. And so we will just exchange for that. And it allows me to have a defense plus 2 shields, which is great. So that ends my turn. Now it's the enemy phase. The Abysmal Demon will move 1, 2. Since I'm in a shadow zone, he will stop there because I'm not in line of sight. And the Orc Enforcers, they will move 2 as well. And that ends the enemy phase. Okay, so now that's put me in a little bit of a difficult situation because when this demon moves, he's going to be able to move into here. And so he's going to have line of sight all the way here. So what I will do at this point in time is I'm going to go 1, 2. I'm not going to pick up this treasure, but I'm going to move 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up the javelin here. That gives me a range weapon with 2 red die. Actually, as I think about it, that's not such a good idea because this demon is going to move 1, 2, 1, 2. Well, that's not too bad because he can't attack me. Let's see, then that would mean on my next turn I could move 1, 2, and then shoot range, but then he can get me. I could go back in this area here. Do I need the range weapon? I don't know. Let's see, what should I do? Yeah, I'm not going to pick that up, actually. I'm going to leave it here and actually move 1 further back. And the reason is, if I pay attention to what the demon has, he's got a javelin that he can use at melee at range 0 or 1. So when he moves, if he were here, he could have gotten me. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it here and move 1 back. So now it's the enemy phase. So he will move 1, 2, and now he can see me. I am in line of sight, so he will move toward me. So if I were here, he would move 1, and then he could attack me at range 1. But he can't attack me at range 2, so he will go ahead and move 1 closer. And so that's all that he can do right now. The Orc Enforcers, they will turn around, and they will go 1, 2. I'm in a shadow zone, so they will just stay there. So what I will do is I will use Zap, and then I will attack and then move over here. After I've attacked, I will be in a shadow zone. I won't be in line of sight, so the demon will come back towards the start. Okay, so let's roll the Zap and hope we get 2 swords. We get 1. So that's 1 point of damage, and he's got a total of 4 health. So now we will roll our attack. We have 2 red and 3 yellow against his 2 green. All right, so we have 1 automatic wound. That's good. And then they've got 2 shields, total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swords. So I do 5 damage against the demon, enough to kill him. So we'll go ahead and lay down that demon right there, and he is dead. So don't forget though, he can still attack. He gets his last attack. So as long as I'm in sight, I'm in trouble. So I need to, on my second action, move away. I don't want to move into a light zone, so I need to move all the way over here to the shadow zone so that he can't see me. Okay, so now it's the enemy phase. So the demon will move. He cannot see me, so he moves 2 spaces or zones toward the start, and he will drop his weapon there. So we'll remove him from the board. So this is the Spear of Impalement. I'll never use that one because I've got better weapons, so I'm just going to remove that. And then the Orc Enforcers get to go their turn, and they will move 2. Again, there's at least 1 enemy on the board, so I won't use the event cards. Okay, so for my next turn, I'm going to open the door for 1, and 1, 2, 3, so that's a little bit too far away. And now I will try to attack. So I'll take my second movement of that first action. I will do the Zap, and then I will attack from the shadow zone using magic. So here we try the Zap. We do 1 point of damage. That brings the Orc Enforcer minion to half health. And so now we will attack. So that's 3 yellow and 2 red against 1 green. Okay, and so they don't have a good roll, so that's good. They don't do any damage to us. We have 2 unblockable, So that's 2, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 shield, so 6 points of damage. So the Orc Enforcers both each have 4 health. We've already done 2 points of damage against the minion, and unlike regular Massive Darkness, we don't have to use 2 separate attacks in order to hit the boss. We just total up everything, and so there was 4 for the boss and 2 left on the minion, so that's a total of 6, and so we're able to kill, just barely kill, the Orc Enforcers. So the Orc Enforcers are killed. I will remove the minion from the board. Turn this guy on the side just so we know. But it is the enemy's turn now, and so they can move. They are melee, so they will move 1, 2, and they're able to attack. So the Orc Enforcers have 3 red and 2 yellow, pretty nasty. And we have 1 blue and 2 green, but our plate armor has a defense of 2 extra shields as well. So here we go and see how that goes. Fortunately, they don't have any BAMs or diamonds, so there's no unblockable damage. We've got 1 BAM, but they're already dead, so that doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4 swords, and we have 3 shields, 4, 5 shields, so we totally block their attack. So we'll remove them, and they drop their weapon, which is an ice axe. Now it's only 2 red, but it is melee, and that's better than the melee that I have, so I might pick that up. Now we have killed the last enemy on the board, so we do draw an event card. So it's a Shadow Blessing. Heroes in the Shadow Zone may heal 1. We don't have any damage, so that's no good for us, but at least no enemies on the board. So one thing to point out right now is that we are on what's the normal mode, which is 10 health points max. And so there is quite a bit of movement, a cat and mouse type of thing. If you bump up your total health or full health higher, then you can play more straight through the scenario if you just want to have more of the enjoy the experience type of play. Okay, so for the rest of the scenario, I'm going to be more adventurous. I might lose the second time, but let's go ahead and move forward. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this weapon as a melee. It's a 2 red, and then that's my first point, and second point for that first action, and then move 2 more for that turn. Now, there are no more enemies, so we again draw a event card. Okay, so Lightbringer's Protector, again, not anything that we really need, but it does prevent another enemy from coming out, so there we go. Okay, now it's our turn, so for our first movement point in our first action, we will open the door and draw a door card. Bummer, another ambush card. So we will spawn a guard in our current zone and 1 in the very final zone. So it turns out that we draw Goblin Warriors in the ambush, and they will have an Ice Mace, which is 2 yellow melee. And then we also drew the Orc Flayers right here in the last zone, and they drew the Orb of Dark Light, which is 3 magic. So that was our first movement point to open that door. So I'm going to use the second movement point to move away. And so that's my first action. The second action that I will do is I will attack, but I will move 1 and then attack. I'll do the zap first and then attack. So here we go for the zap. And as typical, 1 damage. So we have 3 yellow and 2 red against 3 blue. Alright, so they do 1 point of automatic unblockable damage against us. We are in a shadow zone, so we do 1 point of unblockable damage automatically to them, so that kills the minion. Then we count up the swords, 1, 2, 3, 4 swords against 3 shields. So we don't quite defeat the Goblin Warriors. They have 1 point of damage left. So I have moved as far out of range as I can, but now it's the Goblin Warriors' turn, it's the enemy phase, and then after that the Orc Flayers will move. So the Goblin Warriors move 2, and then they attack. They have 2 red and 2 yellow against 1 blue and 2 green, but I've also got the 2 extra shields. Okay, so they do 1 point of unblockable damage against us, but we also do 1 point of unblockable damage against them and kill them. Now, since this is part of their attack, they will be taken off the board this time. They don't get an extra attack since I've killed them right here. Now we count up the swords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swords against 1, 2, 3, 4 shields. So they do 1 more point of damage against us. So I think I haven't forgotten to do anything, but they've done 2 points of damage. I don't think that I've already done the unblockable damage, but that's one of the problems with this, with Master Darkness, is just keeping track of everything. But that's where I think we are right now. So the Goblin Warrior is defeated. They would drop the Ice Mace, but I'm not going to pick that up, so I'm not going to place it down there. So now it's the Orc Flayer's turn. They will try to attack. They can't. They move 2, and since we're in the Shadow Zone, they can't see us, and so they stop there. Okay, we'll stop it here for this part of the playthrough. If you've enjoyed that, just pick it up on the next portion.